Good evening, everyone.
Bonsoir tout le monde.
Justin, we had good meetings.
Justin,
Prime Minister Trudeau and I just concluded a very
la réunion a
productive
été fort
bilateral
bonne.
meeting.
Nous avons conclu une réunion très fructueuse. Je suis sûr que c'est la première de nombreuses séances en étroite collaboration. Un des derniers voyages que j'ai fait comme vice-président était pour visiter le premier ministre à Ottawa. Aujourd'hui,
For both our nations, getting COVID under control at home and around the world is an immediate priority. And we're committed to work together to help prevent future biological threats by strengthening the World Health Organization, supporting our bold targets under the Global Health Security Agenda, cooperating in a global partnership against the spread of weapons of mass destruction, and engaging in other multilateral institutions to promote transparency, build capacity, and strengthen global norms. We also agreed to work in close cooperation to strengthen the supply chain security and resilience, and to ensure that Canada and the United States are driving a robust economic recovery that benefits everyone, not just those at the top. That's especially important because we know that this pandemic is not affecting everyone the same way. Women are dropping out of the workforce at alarming rates. Black, Latino, and Native are also, and other minorities are particularly hard hit. We also agreed to work together on an inclusive recovery using the tools available through the small and medium enterprise chapter of our trade agreement to support women and minority-owned businesses. We also doubled down on our efforts to tackle climate change. It was really, really encouraging. Now that the United States is back in the Paris Agreement, we intend to demonstrate our leadership in order to spur other countries to raise their own ambitions. Canada and the United States are going to work in lockstep to display the seriousness of our commitment at both home and abroad. To that end, we're launching a high-level climate ambition ministerial, and to align our policies and our goals, and to achieve net zero emissions by 2050. Prime Minister Trudeau and I share an unwavering faith in the capacity of our peoples to meet the challenges of this new age if we lead with our core strengths, our democratic values, our diverse and dynamic peoples. We both recognize our responsibility as leading democracies to defend our shared values around the world and to strengthen our own democracies at home. That means rooting out systemic racism and unconscious bias from our institutions and our laws, as well as our hearts. Today, we agreed to reestablish the Cross-Border Crime Forum and work together to modernize our approach to community safety and to do the most we can, do more to take on racism and discrimination in both our systems. Canada and the United States are not only vital partners, we're NATO allies committed to shared defense. The Prime Minister and I discussed our work with our European allies to bolster transatlantic security, which includes meeting our Wales commitments. We also agreed to modernize the North American Aerospace Defense Command, NORAD, which is still the only binational military command of its kind. And we will launch an expanded U.S.-Canadian Arctic dialogue to cover issues related to continental security, economic and social development, and Arctic governance. And finally, coming on the heels of the G7 meeting last Friday, it was an opportunity for Prime Minister Trudeau and I to explore our bilateral partnership to reinforce and help drive issues of concern in our hemisphere and globally. That includes coordinating our approaches to better compete with China and to counter threats to our interests and values. Let me reiterate our support for the release of the detained in China, two Canadians, Michael Spavor and Michael Kovrig. Human beings are not bartering chips. We're going to work together until we get their safe return. Canada and the United States will stand together against abuse of universal rights and democratic freedoms. We're going to strengthen our shared commitment to providing safe haven for refugees and asylum seekers, and so much more. The United States is no closer and no more important friend than Canada. Our nations share a close geography and history that will forever bind us together, but our values are even more consequential. It's the shared spirit of our people that's going to ensure ours is a future of hope and opportunity. Canadians and Americans are innovative, creative, entrepreneurial, competitive, open-hearted, and rights-respecting. There's nothing we cannot achieve when we commit ourselves to it. And when we work together, as the closest of friends should, we'll only make each other stronger. So thank you again, Mr. Prime Minister, for your friendship and for your leadership. I look forward to when we're able to meet in person and all that Canada and the United States are going to accomplish together. So God bless you, and thanks for today.
Thank you so much, Joe. Thank you, tout le monde. Merci tout le monde. Let me begin by saying that all of us are thinking of our friends in Texas right now. I know Sask Power has been sending electricity down, and as I told the President, Canada is here to help however we can. Mr. President, it's been great to sit down with you this afternoon. This is, of course, not the first time we've worked together. Back in 2016, I had the pleasure of hosting you here in Ottawa as Vice President. Over dinner, I remember talking about how the extraordinary friendship between Canada and the United States has not just weathered changing seasons, it has grown ever deeper and stronger. Well, today, we're taking our next step forward. The President and I discussed the ambitious new partnership roadmap based on shared values and priorities that will guide our country's work together over the coming years. In the face of COVID-19, of climate change, of rising inequality, this is our moment to act. So we're not wasting any time in getting down to work. Job one remains keeping people safe and ending this pandemic. This afternoon, the President and I discussed collaboration to beat COVID-19, from keeping key supplies moving and supporting science and research to joint efforts through international institutions. We're standing united in this fight.
In addition to our joint efforts to fight COVID-19, we also discussed our strict measures regarding trips and travel to protect people on both sides of the border. Right now, even though our main priority is to ensure the safety of people, we want to look to the future as well. As you said, Mr. President, we have to build back better. The past year has revealed all kinds of inequalities in our society, and now more than ever, we must act. It is time to build back stronger economies that will benefit everyone.
Are on the same page when it comes to standing up for the middle class and people working hard to join it. And with millions of families relying on the Canada-US partnership, this is work we must do together. Just take the energy industry. Canadian energy workers power homes on both sides of the border. It goes to show that we're all better off for this partnership. Today, the President and I discussed leveraging supply chains and support for businesses to create good, well-paying jobs and help people who've been hardest hit get back on their feet.
Here in Canada, innovation and clean energy will occupy a crucial place in our plan to rebuild our economy. The President and I talked about the importance of a green growth in order to create new opportunities for Canadians and Americans and to protect the environment and fight climate change. We must continue to act meaningfully to respect the Paris Agreement and to reach our carbon neutrality objectives. Finally, we also talked about the various ways in which we can build a stronger, more peaceful world, ways of protecting our people and our communities, and for that we must work together. We must strengthen continental defense, and we must fight violent extremism Throughout the world, we must defend the common interests and values that we have by rebuilding alliances and by supporting multilateral institutions. I would like to thank President Biden for his support in the freeing of Michael Kovrig and Michael Spavor, who have been arbitrarily detained in China.
We're facing tough times, there's no doubt, but we're not facing them alone. Canada and the United States are each other's closest allies, most important trading partners, and oldest friends. And we stand united to beat this pandemic and build a better tomorrow, and I know our bond will grow even stronger. Thank you, Mr. President. Thank you, Joe, for your leadership, for your engagement, and thank you in advance for all the great work we're going to be doing together. Merci, mon ami.
Thank you, my friend.
Bonsoir.